Happy Halloween, everyone. I mean, it was a while ago, but... Anyway, I'm here to take a look at Luigi's Mansion 3 and the Nintendo Switch. Except it's not set in a mansion this time because Luigi is a liar. When the Mario gang is invited to a super fancy hotel for a luxury holiday, it all seems like it should be a good time, right? Wrong. It turns out the whole thing is a trap set by King Boo to once again capture Mario and the gang and trap them in paintings. And while everyone else is captured, Luigi barely manages to escape. So once again, it falls upon the cowardly brother to pick up his trusty poltergust and save his brother and friends from all manner of ghostly forces. I'll start off by just saying that, I haven't played that much of Luigi's Mansion. I've only played a bit of Dark Moon on the 3DS, but that didn't matter too much. Luigi's Mansion 3 quickly teaches you the basics, so you'll be busting ghosts in no time. Starting from the basement, Luigi has to clear each floor of the haunted hotel in search of elevator buttons which have gone missing because apparently this hotel doesn't have any staircases, which I'm pretty sure is a safety violation of some kind. What if there's a fire? Then you'd really be screwed. Safety violations aside, Luigi's ghost-busting adventures involve, busting some ghosts. Each floor is filled with ghastly apparitions looking for ways to scare Luigi. And there's a range of ghosts that appear frequently, but they're all fought in the same manner. Stun them with the flashlight, then start sucking them in with the poltergust. Once you've caught them, you pull the joystick in the opposite direction of whatever way the ghost is attempting to flee. Hold it for long enough and you can slam the ghost for additional damage. Sometimes though, you might encounter ghosts that are wearing or holding something that can block your initial flashlight. So you have to do a little groundwork to get that off first. When you're not busting some ghosts, there's plenty to love in the game's wall design. Each floor has a specific theme, from pirate coves to gymnasiums, with a final boss on each floor that fits said theme. And there's plenty of variety in each floor, which made them all feel fun and different to explore. Because perhaps one of Luigi's Mansion 3's best features is its variety of bosses. There are a lot of boss fights in this game, but it rarely felt like each boss was the same. While Luigi's toolset is limited, the ways you have to use them to capture these ghosts was quite challenging, but very rewarding once the penny finally dropped. And yes, while there were a few fights that really confused me, there are a couple of stinkers in there that aren't quite as good as the rest. I honestly feel like I enjoyed most of them and felt they were challenging and fun in clever ways. And this whole thing is laid in that level of Nintendo charm. Luigi's Mansion 3 isn't a scary game, of course, but it's a fun, family-friendly little spook fest, and it constantly found ways to amuse me. If it wasn't Luigi's perpetual state of terror, it was the fun, beautifully animated cutscenes and boss introductions that never failed to make me smile. And if all else fails, it was pretty fun to just turn the poltergust on Toad and fire him around like a cannonball. Ghostbusting aside, Luigi's Mansion 3 is filled with collectibles. Every floor houses various coloured gems hidden just about anywhere, sometimes in plain sight, but other gems might require a little groundwork or puzzle solving to acquire. Once you've beaten a floor by capturing the boss ghost, you can return later to hunt for a Boo. The only hint you get is a heartbeat-style vibration in your controller that gets more frequent as you get closer. But if you're not a fan of blind searching, then you don't have to worry because the game rather neatly sells cartridges that mark the locations of gems and ghosts for you and then leaves you to do the rest. The biggest issue for Luigi's Mansion 3 is that it can get very repetitive. The ghosts might occasionally have a little trick or two, but most fights just boil down to blinding them, then capturing them with the poltergust. And the floors themselves, while coloured and creatively decorated, are often very short. Some might have a few rooms to explore, while others were simply a single room with the boss fight. And like I said earlier, Luigi's toolkit is fairly limited. He has his trusty anti-ghost vacuum cleaner known as the poltergust. He can use it to suck or blow. And then of course he has a trusty flashlight which can emit a bright flash of light, or use a multicoloured light to restore missing objects, or separate items from paintings. The big new feature is Luigi, a duplicate version of Luigi that can be deployed at any time and can basically do everything Luigi can with a few extras. For example, Luigi can slide through pipes and climb through not entirely solid obstacles to get to areas that Luigi can't. However, he has lower health, and he starts melting if he comes into contact with water, so he's not exactly perfect. The creation of Luigi does, however, create some new opportunities for the game though. There's plenty of smart, challenging puzzles that involve switching between Luigi and Luigi. They were usually just vague enough that the solution wasn't immediately obvious, and there were plenty of times that I was scratching my head in confusion trying to work it out. And I think in my entire 11 hours or so of playing the game, there was only maybe a couple of puzzles that completely stumped me. Ones that I just felt were bad, to be honest. And that's acceptable considering the rest of them I thought were actually really clever and well designed. The Haunted Hotel is not your only source of ghost busting though. There's a multiplayer only mode known as Scare Scraper. Up to 4 Luigis team up to complete either 5 or 10 floors, each with a different objective. It could be capturing all the ghosts, finding all the toads, or clearing out all the critters within a time limit to advance to the next floor. And then once you hit the top, there's a big old boss fight with Boolossus. Scare Scraper is a fun little distraction, but it does have its share of frustrations, the main one being traps. Certain doors might slam open and trap Luigi behind them, carpets wrap him up in a neat little package, or other obstacles that just restrain the player until another teammate comes to help them. The problem is the game doesn't warn you if the player's trapped. Instead, you just have to spam the call out button and hope somebody shows up. Scare Scraper is neat, but the lack of variety means it probably won't be super popular unless they can start introducing some new content to it. Whether or not you'll like Luigi's Mansion 3 depends upon what you're expecting. For me, I went in expecting a fun little package with a lot of charm and humour, and that's pretty much what I got. I really enjoyed exploring the halls, chasing down ghosts, fighting bosses and solving puzzles. I feel my money was well spent here, but if you go into this game expecting too much, you might end up being disappointed. However, I'm going to recommend this game. I really enjoyed it. So that's my review of Luigi's Mansion 3 for GameLuster. Thanks for watching. Check out GameLuster.com for more content. And if you're looking on screen right now, there's more videos for you to look at. Go watch up videos by the rest of our very talented video team. And please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I guess leave a comment. I don't know what leaving a comment does, but okay. You should do that. Thanks for watching.